Alrighty kiddos, so it is time for our next science investigation. So now we're going to try and continue to work and explore the idea of motion. Motion, 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 the motion in the ocean. Okay, so for this activity, you are going to need a few supplies. You will need your 2 red discs. You will need your 2 yellow discs, and for now, you will need your cardboard square, as well as I have about 2 books here. All right, I have about 2 books which I'm going to use to put our cardboard on to make a little ramp. Okay, so once this has been placed on there, so we have a little inclined ramp. Now, what I want you to do is first I want you to take a red disc, and I want you to see what can you do. We want to get this wheel or disc to roll down the ramp. Can you get your disc to roll down the ramp on its own? So we're going to go ahead and investigate that right now. Okay? You can even try your smaller yellow disc as well. Can you get that to roll down the ramp? Okay? After you have done that, right? Maybe you were successful, maybe you had a little difficulty. That's okay. Now what I want to do, can you get 2 discs to roll? Can you do 2 discs at a time? Maybe you can join them. Each disc has little grooves. If you connect the discs, when you connect them, will they roll down the ramp? Go ahead and test that out. You can even test it out with your yellow discs as well. As you're doing this, I want you to think, what worked? What is causing them to roll? If they're not rolling, why is that? Okay? So now we reflect. So I noticed that, yeah, I'm going to scoop this back a little bit. I can get it to roll down. But not all the time. Oh, sometimes when I place it, it doesn't roll down. So there has to be a better way, a more efficient way to get our discs to roll down. That is where our shaft comes in. This is going to be served as an axle. Right? And what's cool about it is that you either have a green one or a yellow one. They all work, all are great. So how this works is now what I want is using this shaft as an axle, I want you to attach your discs to your shaft or your axle and see what you can do in order to get your wheel to move. Alright, so here's one setup. I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but once you put it on here, it's going to roll. It's going to roll down. So that's one step. You probably all know this one. But here's the fun part. I want to see if you can get your wheel, your axle, your wheel and axle system to be able to do tricks. You may have to add a yellow disc. You may have to take off a red disc and add a yellow disc. You may have to have both yellow discs. You may have to, if you look at your wheel or your disc, the discs have 3 separate holes. You may have to put your axle through the different holes. You're going to have to test a bunch of different designs, and that's what's fun about science. You get a test, you get a redesign, you get to evaluate different designs. I want to see if you can, using your wheel and axle system, get your carts your wheels to do different tricks. Can you get it so that when it's rolling down, it curves to the right side? When it comes, it turns to the left side. Can you get it to wobble as it goes down the ramp? What can you get your cart to do? So you're going to use your disc. You may have to use red and yellow. You may have to use 2 red and a yellow. You're going to have to figure out and test different ways you can get your carts to move in different paths. Okay? And then we're going to come back together. Alright, so we were just investigating, and we know the original setup. You had 2 red discs, a disc on each side, and you got to roll straight. Beautiful. But I figured out, and there is one way we can get it to do tricks, and I can get it to roll to a certain side. If you look, I have a yellow disc on one side of the axle and a red disc on the other. When I put it down, it starts to curve to my right, your left. I'll kind of scoot it back so you can see a little bit. I need you to cooperate. Look, as it comes down, it starts to turn. All right, so that's one way I was able to do it. And there are multiple different paths I hope we're going to discuss it in class. We're going to come up, we're going to get to test it. But thank you for all your hard work in class. And we'll see you in class, or maybe you're watching this on your own.